fuck's sake. Oh, God. What could possibly go wrong? I've done goofed me OBS and all. Hang on, please hold. Hang on. Please work, please work, please work, please work. Yes! Success! Fucking hell. I mean, oh no. Jeez Louise. Right. The last few days has been chaos. Surgery has been done. Not on me, on the computer, on the only thing that really matters. Surgery has been completed. We have a new juicy 1000-watt power supply installed, meaning we can run all of the accounts, we can run all of the streams, we can do all of the stuff without it falling over and collapsing on me. Hopefully. Today is going to be quite the day of test. We will push to the limits, and we will see what breaks and when it breaks. In theory, it shouldn't.
Let's make sweet, sweet profit together.
But we will see. Mr. Norton with the gifties this morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate those, my man. Thank you, thank you. Zoilies123 and Moo1000. Congratulations on your gifted sub. Let's talk business. I'll start Hearthstale. Oh, God. I go away for 2 days. Literally 2 days and the world implodes. A lot of stuff to talk about, yes. Let's get some accounts up and running.
Is that your wallet?
And Sensi with the 2 years. My man, thank you very much. Big numbers. Thank you, boys and girls. I still don't hear my alerts. How do we fix this then?
Let's make sweet profit together.
How do we fix this? Scars as well. Oh my God, thank you, boys and girls. You're absolutely smashing it this morning. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Great use of the kicked off a hype train, the whole shebang going on. Great use of the prime there. Thank you. Right, let me try and figure out why the Christ on a bicycle do I not hear my alerts properly. The monitoring device is set correctly, so I don't know why. Let me do a quick cheeky test alert to see if that's...
Does this turn you on?
Ah! I do hear my alerts now. Okay, well maybe I'll fix that then. Read Wowhead comments for some entertainment. Oh God, I bet Wowhead comments have been absolutely outrageous the last few days. Utter chaos, I can only imagine. I do my best to try and avoid Wowhead comments because it is the plague at the best of times. Right, let's just check Team YouTube is working right. One thing I have noticed is my vertical canvas has just died. Meaning that I need to rebuild all of my vertical. So no option to watch on mobile at the moment for permanent dog mode and stuff. And I'm not going to have time to fix this today either. Somewhat... I did something really stupid the other day, which I really shouldn't have done, which is I made changes to OBS on the same day that my computer started having issues. Stupid move, I know, but it's resulted in half of my OBS profile just going poof. So I fixed what was needed to get this main thing on the go, and for it hopefully not to crash and burn today, but I've goofed the vertical one, so I need to fix that. It's on the list for tomorrow. I need one of those fancy admin mod kind of people that just does all of my OBS thing whilst I stream. I don't very often watch too many of the really big streamers, but one I do occasionally jump into if there's something interesting happening is Tim the Tapman. He intrigues me as a content creator because he has risen through the ranks over the years, but now has, you know, absolutely everything set up. And he has his Whips, doesn't he? Whips is his mod and his admin, who just has like literally control over the stream PC. I assume he just sort of like remote desktops in, and Whips just sorts everything. That's the dream, to be able to just go live, play video games, and go, oi! Shout out a name, and somebody just fixes something. Oh my god, the dream. Is multi-boxing a thing again? It never wasn't a thing. Never wasn't a thing. They've had... This isn't really multi-boxing in the old sense of multi-boxing, more as it's just having lots of accounts with lots of characters that allows you to do lots of things. I know that's kind of the same but different, but what I do need to consider is, do I need to relist auctions? I'm away for a couple of days now. This week has been actually chaos. I'm wondering if I need to relist auctions, or I'm wondering if I should just try and level some more remix characters. Level some more remix. I tell you what, let's log on to remix, because you know what we haven't done is we haven't checked. It's phase 3, isn't it? It's phase 3. So I should probably, I've done most of phase 3 stuff. I went and did the new raid just to see what the crack was with it and stuff. But I have no real need to push particularly heavily in remix. But it would be good to get another team of characters leveled, maybe possibly. Yo, thank you for the hype train, boys and girls, though. First day back, that's very much appreciated. Thank you. Why do people from Wales speak so strange? Also, good morning. They do have quite the twang, don't they? People are going to spend their shiny gold to buy it through tokens, and I believe that the token will go sky high. Well, there's two possibilities here. People might convert their gold that they already have into balance to buy this new Hearthsteel stuff, but more likely is that people will just straight up buy this Hearthsteel off the store. And you may also find not only will they need to buy Hearthsteel off the store to buy all of the new decor goodies from there, they may also at the same time feel the need to actually straight up buy gold to buy all of the auction house decor items. You know, a whale will wail from every angle. A whale will wail from every angle. So they will, you know, if somebody is going to be willing to buy Hearthsteel, they will probably also be willing to buy tokens. They're out there to collect everything decor. They will collect it from all angles. Is my theory with it, at least. I have no idea where I am or why I'm here. Let me get my bearings. I was clearly out here doing some quests or something, wasn't I? I think I still have Broken Shore world bosses to kill. I think I also... Well, actually, do I have... Yeah, I've got full 36 infinite knowledge now, so I don't really care about any more collecting of that stuff. I got 1.4 million bronze, and I also think I've collected absolutely everything that's possible to collect. I think Remix for me is now just like pure farm mode. Pretty sure of it, you know. What was I doing? I was doing the Hunter Order Hall campaigny stuff. Yeah, sure. That's a thing that can be done. That's a thing that exists. Has there been any cheese or shenanigans with this over the last couple of days? I played it a little bit as my computer would allow me over the last couple of days. Is there a new world? Is there a world boss up every day, I guess? On the Broken Shore? I would imagine. We recruited a new DPS and I couldn't understand a word he was saying. Welsh is a very interesting language for sure. We had a guild talk about the Hearthstone last night. One of the guild members literally went into a rage about it. I'll say this new currency pissed off a lot of casual people off. I witnessed it firsthand. Needed a glass of wine after that. Oh my god. It's
Let's make sweet profit together.
I mean, should we bring it up? Should we bring it up? Should we start the drama farm? Start the drama farm. Wait. Brutosaur might be returning, but only in China? Ah! Okay, that's interesting. We'll get back to that in a minute. Oh, we got... Oh, Alpha 6 we got patch notes and stuff for this. Okay, right. Well, let's go back to the juice, right? Go down with the Prime as well for 2 months. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate that. Thank you, boys and girls. So, Blizzard has yes. Newly data mined Hearthstone will be a new real money currency used to buy housing items and shared their design philosophy with the system. Now, I did some, I spanned some of this through chat. Well, it wasn't ChatGPT, it was actually Copilot, but same difference, you know what I mean. I span it through the mill, and it came out with some interesting results. I'll share those with you in a minute, but welcome back. When do you get the new doggo? Both myself and Mrs. Manthias have strongly considered the other new doggo as an option, and based on the simple fact that I'm already responsible for the 3 dogs as it is, and I can already feel that if we were to take on the 4th one, it would be a very nice thing to house Alma's brother as well. But the reality is I would also then be responsible for the 4th dog too. And I'm already not getting shit done because I'm on permanent dog duty. And it's just bad timing, honestly. So there probably won't be doggo number 4. It also turned out that it wasn't so dramatic as it was made out to be. The Alma's brother was he went to a couple. The couple had never had a dog before, and it then turned out that the female half of that couple was incredibly allergic to dogs, and so one of the reasons why a lot of dogs have to go back is because of allergies. And this was the case with Alma's brother, but it turned out that the breeder just bought the dog back off them anyway. And so was then trying to also charge us full price for the dog. And I was like, well, I thought we would try, it was difficult, right? Because it was pulling at my heartstrings from every direction. Firstly, Alma's brother doesn't have a home. We've already got Alma. We'll take him on board. But then when the breeder was like, "Oh yeah, that will be big sum of cash as well," I'm like, "Oh okay, now you're starting to take the piss here. This isn't quite as this isn't quite the same as how it was sold, if you know what I mean." But yeah, there is still part of me that's contemplating it. I just don't know if it's sensible. in all honesty, when you've got 3, 4 won't make much of a difference. Well, I said that about having 2, and I was like, well, we've got 2, a 3rd won't be much of a difference. But I also went by the theory. I'll show you. I will tease you all with. Where did I post it? So this is you've all seen Alma on stream. I don't know where she is right now. Actually. I don't know if Doge Cam even is working. Let me see if Doge Cam is working. Doge camera's working. So there's Alma Llama. She's fast asleep, flopped on the floor at the moment. She's chilling. Finally, she did some crazy zooms this morning. But Alma's brother is this one. This is Alma's brother. Cute as a button. Absolutely cute as a button. It's still 50-50, but whenever I think sensibly, I think that. But then when I look at the picture, I'm like, how can you? That's a wolf. Whenever I look at that, I'm like, how can you not give that dog a home? Don't be sensible. Well, I knew I should never have spoken to you lot about this because I know categorically what your lot opinion is on this. Maybe don't let chat decide. I know. It's also, you know, there is so many things that is like, so many things that make me want to take the dog. But there are also so many things that make me not want to take the dog. So it really is a bit of a mixed emotion situation. For starters, I have 3 female dogs. Bringing a boy dog into that equation probably is not the smartest move. It would ultimately mean he'd have to have the snip like the second he gets horny. Otherwise, I got a real problem on my hands. We also have lots of boy dogs in the family, though, so there's a bit of... Oh, I don't know. As somebody with 2 dogs as well, it sounds like the breeder's problem, not yours. Oh, I absolutely know for a fact it's not my problem, but it's like... When we bought Alma, it was very hard to say we'll just take one anyway. Since, And my theory was this. My theory was that, well, Alma doesn't play a lot with my other 2 older dogs, so it would end up being that we have the 2 older dogs who could just chill and be older dogs, and then the 2 puppies can entertain themselves. You see, you can already tell I'm kind of half self-justifying it all the same. So yeah, I don't know. We might, if nothing else, go take Alma for a play date so she can see her brother. New streaming channel, 24/7 doggies. I mean, that could also be a thing. Yeah, I don't know. Just before Christmas as well. Just before a midnight expansion. I'm already not getting half the stuff done I want to get done. Chat says yes in the poll. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see. It does feel a bit rigged, though. Not gonna lie. That poll looked a bit rigged. But anyway, I will keep you updated. Should we talk some WoW drama though? Mum ended up with a boy and a girl dog, an older female. The boy was a pup. It impregnated the female when it was only 6 months old, just before it was due for the snip. So she ended up with 3 more dogs. Oh, great. Thanks. Yeah. See, this is the thing, right? Alma's brother will make her busy. That Alma won't feel alone or bored with the 2 senior dogs. Well, she's already learnt to... She's learnt to play with humans. She's also learnt to play and entertain herself. So there's she's already right on the path to being absolutely fine with that. My oldest dog, Papo, where was she? She's the one in the bed right there. She's the one that chills in the bed. She, being the first and the only for a while, learned very much to entertain herself and to play with humans and be content. Nipsu, on the other hand, the black one, who is here, she never really learnt to play with humans particularly well because she always had dogs about. Whereas Alma has learnt to entertain herself and play with humans as well. So it's, I don't know. Like I said, I'm flipping. I'm self-justifying this to myself, even though I know it's a terrible idea. But sometimes you have to make terrible ideas and just go for it. I don't know. Telomere, how we doing? Welcome in. Welcome. Yeah, Manthius Goblin Kennel. Literally. Fortunately, I have the space for this. Like, I would be very tempted. I'd be very tempted because this area here, some of you will know, is like upstairs. It's above our garage, basically. We have a separate building where the garage is. And there's a silo there for all of the wood pellets, for all of the heating and this sort of stuff. So this is the upstairs section above the garage. There's another room below, which I just have some gym equipment in. But I've been very tempted to convert that into, like, you know, a doggy kennel. But that you know, that's a project maybe for another day. Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. Is this what a midlife crisis looks like? Maybe it is. I'm American, and for the life of me, I cannot make out what you're saying. Sorry, I will speak our shared common language slightly slower. Welcome in, though. He's from Wales. Glass floor in the streaming room, so the doggos are monitored from the first floor. Oh God, now you're thinking. Speak English, please. Oh God, I don't know. I'm so confused. Anyway, right, drama time. Hearthstale. What do we think on this, boys and girls? 1, are we surprised? 2, do we really care, considering it can be bought with Blizzard Balance? Where was I saying this? I don't know, maybe I was chilling in K-Chak's stream the other day, I can't remember. Somewhere I was talking, or maybe it was on the Discord, I can't remember. Somewhere I came to the realization that Blizzard's desire to monetize this game, there is nothing you can do or say that's going to change the direction that they go in, right? That there is absolutely nothing that will prevent them from doing what they're already going to do. So, is it worth getting stressed over it? The only thing you can really do is vote with your wallet. And voting with your wallet is just don't buy all the shit if you really care for it to not be a thing. They can't screw you with the bundles that give you rest amount. We have EU rule. Well, I don't think we do yet. This is a concept that's come up a few times. These EU regulations don't actually exist yet, by the way. It is that there are certain parties within the industry that are pushing for those rules and regulations. This is why it's been a talking point quite recently. But I'm not convinced that those rules actually exist and can be enforced yet. But we'll have to see. There was, I saw on the Reddit, actually. I saw on the Reddit, WoW Reddit, that there was, see if I can find it. Somebody literally pointed out in, like, clear, precise way exactly where most people's fear for this stems from. So here you can see this is exactly what people don't want, but this is exactly why they use these virtual currencies. That there'll be something available, and it will be 1,100 coins, and your option is buy 1,000 coins, which won't be enough, or buy 2,000 coins that will leave you with 900 spare, but you didn't really want to spend that much. And you look at this and you consider it to cost maybe $11, but you have to part with $20. Then you categorically know that there'll be something that comes along that's 900 that you would really, there'll be another thing for 1,100. So you actually need 2,200 to get the two things, which then makes this bundle not big enough. Like this is literally the reason why these companies do these virtual currencies, or it's one of the reasons. It's they can muddy how the value of things is determined, and can make it so that you can only buy into the system with certain denominations. They said in the Blizzard post that they wouldn't do it. Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute, though. This is the thing.
Is that your
They
wallet?
state that you can buy any amount.
Both, I hope.
Should we read it? Let's have a little bit of a read. Let's go through it in detail, because I, for one, definitely have opinions on this. Before diving too far in, it's important to define what Hearthsteel is. Hearthsteel is a new virtual currency for World of Warcraft, being added in the Midnight expansion. It is purchased with real money using your Battle.net balance, and can be in turn and used in turn to buy housing items from the shop. Philosophy and guiding principles, then. Brace for Ranthias. At the top level, our main priority is making housing fun and player friendly. Something that can be enjoyed by players of all kinds. To that end, here are a number of our guiding principles. Their main priority is making housing fun and player friendly. But on the scale of 1 to 100, if that's 100, at 99 is making money. Right? So, sure, maybe you've got 1% more priority on making it fun and player housing, but right there, it's literally touching. Right there is going to be making money, and that's already clear as day. The vast majority of housing items are and will continue to be earnable in-game. Only a small fraction is available for purchase from the shop. Comparing this number against collectibles such as mounts is a good metric here, with more than 1,000 mounts earnable in-game and only a few dozen from the shop. This is deliberately diffusing the situation with generalized overall big numbers, where when you actually break it down, though, a lot of people would consider that some of them, most people would, if you were to rank the mounts, you would probably quite find that if you did a blind test, a blind test where you'd got people to pick their top 10 favorite mounts, how often do you think in that blind test would a store mount or two end up in that top 10? And this is because they have financial reason to hold the best, the shiniest, the most sought after mounts, and then to sell them to you. So this is a deflection. This is a deflection saying, oh, well, there's 1,000 mounts you can get. Yeah, 300 of those mounts is the same flipping pony in a different suit, right? Your distractions by big numbers. They still historically over the years have put the best mounts, and even if that model then eventually ends up in earnable ones in the game, you still predominantly find that the best shit hits the store first. There are definite exceptions to that, but deflective. Housing items tied to core fantasies of a player's race or class, or that already exist in Azeroth, won't be sold in the shop. Thematically important decor players know and love will also not appear in the shop. See, this is it. How do you get to determine what players love? This basically means what they'll put in the store is any sort of slightly different stuff. This is a way of saying that anything that doesn't fit the general core fantasy of the game will then be able to be sold in the store. This means when they do the inevitable Fortnite crossover, or they do the inevitable sort of like, they do crossover events or a Mountain Dew, you'll get a Mountain Dew vending machine to put in your housing, but then they'll make you buy it for like $5 on the store or something. This is the kind of shit that they're reserving to be able to put in the shop. Stuff that doesn't make sense for it to be like in the game particularly. It's not thematic to the game, but it'll be the dumb shit that people want, right? The shark in a massive fish tank will be an item that they'll put in the store. It's got absolutely no place being in the game from a thematic perspective, but it's shit that people will absolutely definitely want. They'll slam that in the shop. The super bling stuff. Yeah, all of the silly things, right? The silly things that don't really make a lot of sense, but is part of the silliness and the fun of player housing. That will end up in the shop for sure. All housing items in the shop will be available for individual purchase. Whilst we sometimes offer sales on bundles or items for a limited time, you shouldn't feel like you have to spend money now or risk missing something that you want. This is them trying to claim that there won't be FOMO. We swear. We won't add FOMO, but we will do bundles for a limited time. You can't say that there is no FOMO and FOMO. You can't do that within one sentence. That's literally one sentence. Why will we sometimes offer sales on bundles of items for a limited time? FOMO. We will FOMO. You shouldn't feel like we FOMO. You can't do that, Blizzard. That is the most contradictory sentence that they could put in there. We're going to do something, but we're going to make it so it doesn't feel like we're doing it. All right, sure. Thanks for that. Allow me to tell you to fuck right off with that metric. Costs in the shop are clearly defined. The ratios of Hearthsteel to real money are fixed and easily understood at a glance. Sure, you should be able to obtain an amount that makes sense for the purchases, plural, you want to make. This is where you got to be so careful with this PR bullshit, because if you just skim read it, you don't realise the nuance in it. Purchases, plural. Ultimately meaning there'll be many items. They will probably make the minimum amount of Hearthsteel you can buy $10 worth. Now, $10 might be enough to buy you 4 chairs. But what if you want to buy 1 chair? Can you buy $2.50 of Hearthsteel? No, you won't be able to. But they will make it so the bundles, which will contain some stuff that you really do want and some other stuff that just is kind of like part of the bundle, they'll make the bundles nice, even, round numbers that will conveniently be able to be purchased. They make the path of least resistance to purchasing the bundles. It's such rubbish. It's all complete and utter PR bullshit spin. It's all it is. And the frustration is I've seen this so many times. From having a sales and marketing background, my brain just instantly translates this into like what they're actually trying to say. I'll be a whale and buy all the dumb crap for my plot. People will. There's nothing against people doing that. The thing that frustrates me is that when these companies come out and try and claim that they're not going to do something while simultaneously doing it. If they were straight up transparent, if companies were transparent with this sort of stuff, I'd give them a lot more credit. But they try and weasel their way out of like admitting what they're doing. Because for the most part, it's all entirely designed to extract more value out of you than you probably would, promoting things like impulse purchases That's fundamentally one of the things with FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. Oh, I need to buy this now because it might not be available tomorrow. Or I need to buy this now because it leaves the store tomorrow. And you buy it then on an emotional purchase rather than a rational purchase. When the rational part of your brain kicks in and you're like, why did I spend €7 on a couch for a video game? This is why they do it. The shop user interface is straightforward and easy to understand. I mean, sure. If it isn't, you make less sales. Sure, okay. Hearthstone should integrate cleanly into the existing Battle.net economy. This means not just being able to purchase it in-game, on the web, or in the launcher, it should also be compatible with the normal flow of the WoW token, letting you earn gold in-game and use that gold to ultimately purchase Hearthstone via the WoW token. This is the only bit that, to me, is like, sure, cool. This is the one paragraph that basically means I can ignore everything else. Because I make so much gold in the game and it's my primary activity in the game that, I can just, it's another thing to spend Battle.net on. Cool, sure. But to a lot of people, this doesn't apply. Hearthstone is for housing. We currently have no plans to use it for the trading post, mount, transmog, or pets. So, a virtual currency specifically for housing, not going to be used for anything else. You can already see Asmon's going to farm the shit out of this. Nah, this is beneath Asmongold these days, isn't it? Should. Yeah, we currently have no plans to use it for anything else, yeah. Why a virtual currency? This, if you follow me over on Twitter, I ran this. I gave this paragraph to Copilot and said, can you give me a brutally honest translation of this paragraph? And what it came back with was hysterical. Actual genius. So, why a virtual currency? This was one of the first things we heard when heard the community discussing. Why bother when we already have Battle.net balance? It's important to note that when dealing in transactions involving real money, a more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide appropriate financial protections for both parties. Oh my. This can be an inefficient, inconvenient, and often tedious process when a player wants to purchase multiple items. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We live in the generation of online shopping. Amazon makes it so goddamn easy for you to purchase multiple items, it's disgusting. Have you never heard of a shopping cart? Add things to a shopping cart, get a grand total, pay the grand total. People have their credit cards hooked up to things like PayPal these days, so they don't even need to take their credit card out of their pocket. This is complete and utter bullshit. There's a $1 trillion industry designed to make it efficient, convenient, and not tedious when purchasing multiple items. That couldn't be more BS if they tried. Smaller housing items in the shop are often low cost, and players will want to purchase multiple of them to complete a set. As an example, you might want a full set of chairs to place around a dining table, multiple place settings for your invited guests, or even many candles to help you decorate the room for a complete look. Using an in-game currency can help make the process of obtaining many types of inexpensive items more efficient. More efficient for who? More efficient for who? Right, I spanned this through Copilot, and what it gave me was actually hysterical. This was utter genius. Go like the post, by the way. Shameless promo. what it gave me was actually hysterical, right? So we've just read the actual one. This is what Copilot spat out. Can we get the two side by side? I reckon we probably can. Let's get the two side by side. You got the Blizzard official. Oh, hello, that's a bit too big. The Blizzard official, and then the Copilot translation. Why a virtual currency? We want you to spend more, faster. Real money transactions come with legal baggage and payment processing fees, which slows things down and limits how impulsively you can buy stuff. So we made up a pretend currency to bypass those hurdles and make microtransactions feel painless. Most of the shop items are cheap and designed to be bought in bulk, like chairs, plates, or candles. By using virtual currency, we make it easier for you to drop a bunch of money without noticing. It's not about convenience for you, it's about removing the friction so you spend more without thinking twice. Even AI knows it's bullshit. Even AI knows it's bullshit. Oh, when even AI knows it's bullshit, it's like, oh, what are you trying to do, Blizzard? Honestly, what are you trying to do? Trying to take us for fools. I just wish these companies had come out and be honest about this sort of shit. Housing reminds me of Rift or EverQuest 2. I mean, obviously housing has been done many, many times before, right? And many other companies have done it well. Many other companies have done it poorly. But one thing you know categorically is what Blizzard were going to cash cow the absolute shit out of it, that's for sure. General populace will see many words for the reasoning and just consider it believable. Yeah, this is one thing I like to sort of get across to people as much as possible, is that if you just flat out believe what you're told, you are gonna get walked over in this world today. You just flat out believe what you're told, you are in for a rough time. Because there are people out there, right, who it's their sole job is to write words in a way that makes it sound like it favors you, whilst it actually does the exact opposite. PR spin, right? PR spin. You got to be super careful with this sort of stuff. Anyway, should we look at what the housing catalogue looks like? I just realised that with the stream, this is probably quite small. Can we So we've got the housing catalogue. It looks like they're actually integrating this Hearthsteel directly into the in-game UI as well, which is very different to how we've ever seen them approach microtransaction stuff as well. Previously, to view store mounts and to view store pets, you have to be in the game, you have to deliberately choose to go to the shop, and then you can browse. Is this new? $15% off a 12-month sub offer as well? Oh god. Oh god, you can't move. The point is, it has been since limits, okay. The point is you have to proactively go into the store to see, to see where you spend your money. For the first time, they're going to heavily link the two together with the housing catalogue. I'm not logged on to the alpha right now. The alpha was actually down last night. I'm not sure if it's back up again. But you can see here that they're actually going to, within the general UI for the game, they're going to show items, and then they're going to be, marked with a Hearthsteel value. And you're going to be able to purchase these directly through the in-game without even navigating to the store in the first place. You're going to be running around in your house. They are quite literally going to make it as easy as humanly possible. And you bet your ass like there'll be featured bundles and all sorts of stuff showing up in here. WoW token went up from 398 to 409 in less than 8 hours. I mean, it fluctuates by that much day by day anyway. British people are professionals in seeing BS in articles after reading the BBC for years. Yeah, we got multiple newspapers in the UK that like teach you from a young age, right? This is bullshit. Oh, this is also bullshit. Bullshit from every angle. But yes, directly implementing the ability to spend a virtual currency from without even entering the store. You may have already seen hints of this on the alpha or the PTR, but we're adding a housing catalog to the housing UI, which allows players to view all potential housing decor, earnable, purchasable, and special promos, and so on. So like I said, you bet your ass when you first open this, you'll be, for the low price of only $9.99.99, 800% value. They're going to start spamming you with adverts to buy stuff, buy microtransactions within the base game. You're not even going to have the luxury of, oh, I would like to spend some money. Let me go to the shop. No. The shop is coming to you. It lets you not only preview it in the UI, but also place a temporary version in your home as well. So you can see how it fits before deciding if you want to spend time tracking it down or purchasing it from the shop. Also, very clever. Oh, this thing, and this is exactly what microtransactions do, right? They're designed to make you impulse. Oh, I can place this lovely this lovely chair in my thing. Oh, that looks really cool. Oh, it's only 70 Hearthsteel. Oh, well, oh, okay, well, I bought that bundle of Hearthsteel, and that was $20, but that was like, sunk cost. I've already spent that now. Of all the ways they could fuck up housing, I don't know why I didn't see this coming. I mean, it's not surprising to me in the slightest. It's just I ultimately, I guess the only time they could get away with implementing this is right at the very beginning. If they tried to retrofit, if they went the approach of here's housing, here's decor, everything is earnable in the game, and then they tried to slap on a microtransaction system on top. They did that in Diablo. Everything was earnable to begin with, and then they slap on the microtransaction currency later. That causes as much ruckus through the community as anything else. Wrapping it up, we've said it before and we'll keep saying it, but please keep your feedback coming so we can put it in the bin. We're so excited to continue to share more about the future of housing in the coming weeks and months. Of course they are. Cash cow. You would at this point, the way that they're monetizing this, you would assume that this is a free to play game. This is the thing. We're now in that we've now come so far with the monetization in the game that under normal circumstances you'd look at this sort of system and you'd assume it's a free to play game and that this is how they generate revenue. And if that was the case, totally different argument, right? Totally different story. If it was a free to play game and they monetize it via a few extra, you know, microtransactions here or there for cosmetic stuff that doesn't really impact anybody but you, sure, absolutely fine. But the one reason this really gets the hairs up on my back is because we have already bought the game. We have to buy the game to have access to this, right? You don't have access to this without buying the game. You got to buy the game. You then got to pay a monthly subscription for said game, right? So you're already being charged twice for one product. They're then going to try and incentivize you to spend yet more money, triple dip you on the one product. That's what really grinds my gears. If it was a free-to-play game and everybody could play, or even if they made housing like fully free to play, even like I don't know what the advantage of that would be, but you at the very least cannot have access to player housing without at least paying the subscription. Sure, you won't have the latest expansion and you won't have access to housing until midnight launches, but you will at least be able to tinker with housing during midnight and going forth with only a subscription. But that's still $15 a month to then be charged more. It's a thing bothering me as well. We already pay for the game, we pay a subscription. The free-to-play nonsense slapped on top of it. Yeah, exactly. This as a you know, a business model, I don't object to, and in fact, I sort of admire it because it's relatively clever. But it does not have place in a game we have already bought and we already pay a subscription for. It's an alternative revenue system for a game that is offering value above all else to begin with, and then with the, you know, please support the game with these extra, you know, bonuses. I genuinely wouldn't object to this if the default business model was different. But it's we want to monetize this game in all of the ways, which is why it really grinds my gears. But how many comments? Oh my God, a year's worth of comments. I don't think we're going there. This could be dangerous. This could be hella dangerous. They did say we can exchange Hearthsteel and the coin thingies we can buy on the... Yeah, I mean, it integrates with the token system. Meaning, if you play the game enough and you make enough gold in the game, you can cash that gold out for Blizzard Balance and buy all the Hearthsteel you ever want. But just because that system is there doesn't obfuscate the clear greed from the word go. Good entertainment. Reads every one of them. Oh, grabs popcorn. Yep. Vom. In the words of the great Jeremy Clarkson, oh no. Anyway. It's okay. I'd rather them doing this instead of increasing the cost for everybody. I disagree with this very heavily. I know there are fellow creators that also share this opinion. There are some people out there that will equally say, I would rather them do this than them increase the standard sub fee. And I'm like, no, because at least increasing the default sub fee means that my sub fee feels like it's going towards the product I'm paying for. I mean, at the end of the day, we should understand as goblins in the game that it's your prerogative when you sell a product to charge as much as you can for it. And if you push your limit too much, then you stop selling as much of it. But $15 a month for the sub fee is very reasonable already for the amount of entertainment that can be had from this game. I just don't like the fact that they're trying to use all monetization systems. check this at the bottom. Microtransactions in-game, the new EU guidelines explained. Are those rules and regulations actually in place yet, though? German website by the looks of things. These guidelines will soon become part of the Digital Fairness Act. Upcoming law intended by the European Commission to improve the protection of consumers in digital spaces. Yeah, this is what I thought, right? It's not a thing that actually exists yet. There's an awful lot of like chat about this sort of stuff, but it's not actually a rule and it's not actually enforceable yet. Officially, the bill won't be presented until 2026 at the earliest. Yeah, so this is what people want, and people are starting to make a stink about the fact that this, you know, monetization practice is kind of gross, but it's still not a rule, which is why Blizzard are probably full steam ahead, full gung-ho with it. But we'll see. Many people assume we criticize the free-to-play-ish model of the Decal shop. It's not the issue. It's adding it on top of the current payment models. Yeah, like I've tried to say. For me personally, I wouldn't have half as much pushback on this if the game was free-to-play, and it was their sole method of generating revenue to support the continuous development of the game. I'm of the belief that, you know, there are different business models and you should choose one. I don't believe it's particularly fair to try and choose all of them. To sell a upfront cost for the game and then to sell a subscription is already pushing your luck. And to then heavily incentivize microtransactions on top, and then provide the ability for you to buy the generic in-game currency in terms of gold in the first place, meaning that you can circumvent a lot of the process of playing the game by buying the gold. We sit in an interesting position where, you know, buying tokens, which allows you to buy an awful lot of stuff in the game, very much hovers on the fence when it comes to like the pay-to-win argument. But yeah, just so many that they're not trying to pick a business model and go with it. They're trying to pick all of the business models, which is what grinds me. It's fair to say clearly how much something costs in equal size if possible. Personally, I'll do what I did with the Brutasaur and other shop items, just 99% ignore it. It's the only thing people can do, really. It's the only thing people can do. Voting with your wallet is all you can do. You think Blizzard still makes money with the monthly sub? I don't think so. I think the shop and the expansion sales make the profit. I wouldn't know for definite what is the driving force of revenue, but considering just how many companies out there have gone the microtransaction model, freemium, free to play, you know, more and more games within the industry have swayed away from the charging a big box price up front and have gone in favor of making the game cheaper or more accessible to more people while simultaneously stacking on microtransactions. that would lead me to believe that shit that goes in the store basically every month these days now. It used to be the odd occasional thing here or there. It's now every month, without fail, there is a promo in the store. I would imagine those make more money than any other aspect, probably any other aspect combined. In fact, that's probably not fair to say, because the monthly sub is $15 a month for every single person that plays the game. Even if you buy every single promo that is available in the store, that most store things up until this point have been one-time purchases. Decor is where this starts to change a little bit, because it's almost like them selling consumables, right? They deliberately said in this article, didn't they, that the expectation is that people would like to buy multiple things. They will sell a chair for $2, but they know that you're not going to buy just one chair. They know you're probably going to be putting these chairs around a table, and that means you're going to buy at least 4 of them, maybe 6 of them, maybe 8 of them in one go. The emphasis here is it's no longer just a one-time purchase of a microtransaction. It's like them selling potion. It's not as bad as them selling potions, but it's the same sort of concept of that they don't expect it to be. With a mount, you buy it once. Boom, you've got the mount. Not only have you got the mount on one character, you've got it on all of your characters. You buy a mount, you buy it once. It's a one-time additional payment. Decor is going to start, blending into, like, you might buy the same thing multiple times. That's where the whaling really becomes ridiculous. This is why games that sell consumable player power, which is the worst form of pay to win, not just selling you player power in the first place, but selling you player power for a duration of time, is where some of the grossest mobile free-to-play microtransaction sort of stuff has kicked in. Can you buy the currency through WoW Gold? Sort of. You spend gold on tokens, you spend tokens on Hearthsteel. So there is a path to buying it with gold, but that requires you to have an astronomical amount of gold to be able to buy a token. And then we'll have to see just how far that token goes. So you can do it through the token system, but there's no direct trade gold for Hearthsteel. You will be able to do that, but it's the same scenario. They're going to make the minimum denomination very, very high if you're doing it with gold, because you have to buy one whole token, 400,000 gold you have to stump up in order to get one token, and it will be questionable just how much that 13 euros or $15 or whatever that token actually relates to in terms of then Hearthsteel. And you bet your ass that, you'll get one token I can only speak for EU prices here, but one token gives you 13 euros of Blizzard balance. You can bet your ass that Hearthsteel will be like 10 or 20 euros for a bundle, right? Meaning that one token, you'll get 13 euros of Blizzard balance, but then you can only buy 10 euros worth of Hearthsteel, and you'd have to buy a second token. It's all. This is exactly why these virtual currencies exist, to make it so that you can't just directly buy the thing you want to buy. Anyway, I knew that was going to rile me up, which is why I wanted to get that out of the way nice and early. I did spot something else in here that's going to make me giggle. Brutosaur might be returning, but only in China. What is the further data mining? Indicates it might only be coming back to China. Last week, data mining implied a Brutosaur mount may be returning to the in-game store via a file name in the shop. In this current Midnight Alpha build, we've data mined new assets that seem to confirm the Bruto is returning. Catalog, shop-wide card, Brutosaur comeback. It comes with Trader's Tender, question mark. Only in China. However, for those who missed out on the Brutosaur the first time, you may be disappointed as some other UI textures have been data mined, which indicate that this might only be coming back in China. CN at the end there. What do you think? Is the Brutosaur returning? Is it only going to be in China? An entire article was made over 2 characters. Sure. China getting what everybody got. We're not getting what China got. That what was it? What was there's that new classic mode, isn't there, in China? Which a lot of people have already claimed they would like to see, not just in China. Why did you brought me to the bottom of the tree here? What we got? What we got? Oh, a 600 mount. 600 mount. What's the highest right now? 500? Obtain 600 mounts usable by a single character. Okay, well, if you have more than 600 mounts, this will be a new one added to your collection soon, TM. People have always been pushing for like higher mount achievements and stuff. Track interrupts and dispels with a built-in damage meter in Midnight. Blizzard's in-house damage meter has been updated on the alpha to include the ability to track interrupts and dispels. I hope they get this right. I really hope they get this right. If they're gonna kick details out, their damage meter better be spot on. They gotta get this right. I think I share the opinion with many others that they really should have created in-house versions and allowed them to run side by side for a duration of time, so that, you know, teething issues and, you know, minor features, not major features, because if any in-house add-on doesn't have a major feature, then it's going to fall flat on its face from day one. But they should have done them in-house, let them run side by side, let players test either of them out, then implement some of the minor features that people want, and then, and maybe only then, kick out the unofficial add-ons. They just needed to ban weak auras in mythic raids. That's it. No need to go nuclear. Conceptually, I like what they're doing. I like that they are finally, after 20 years, taking some responsibility for bringing these things into the base version of the game. It's been a big criticism over the years of Blizzard that they've felt that they can not bother because add-ons will just do it for them anyway. And I you know, conceptually, I like the fact that they're trying to go, you know what? It is our responsibility to make sure that in a game where there is like so much so many different classes, so many different specs. I mean, fucking target dummies have been in the game for literally forever and a day. What's the point of having a target dummy if you don't have an accompanying way to track it, right? It's always blown my mind that there hasn't been a default damage meter in the game. Why stand around hitting a target? Why practice your rotation on a target dummy without any idea if you're actually doing your rotation correctly or not? It's always been a bit of a mystery to me. But I like the fact that they are at least trying to bring responsibility in-house. I just don't think that going nuclear with pissing off every long-term add-on creator before they've even implemented half of their own in-house equivalents is a good idea. As a shaman healer who interrupts with spells that do not count as interrupts but as crowd control, I need the crowd control option, not just interrupt. Well, that's feedback to that's the kind of feedback that they need to hear, really, because that's the kind of stuff that, you know, it's that's those little you know, what I refer to as like sub features that become important. You can't just pick one add-on and ban it. They're changing the API so that multiple add-ons that use X info are not usable. Yeah, there will be casualties, and we've already seen casualties, right? We've already seen, you know, LVUI, for example. LVUI, which you would have gone into this initially being, oh, well, they just, you know, they reskin the game for you. They make it so that you can change the way the game looks. Even those guys have come out and gone, this is outrageous. We've had enough. Jargist with a 16. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Beta soon. It is what, like 4 days? Yeah, a couple of days until beta now. Next week's gonna be busy. Busy. Nuking ATT is a risky one. Definitely a risky one. Right, what have they changed? What has been added to the alpha this week? Midnight Alpha test dev notes. Can I read the original, please? Okay, 12 hours ago. Class sets have been added for some classes. Class spec changes. I'm looking for the stuff that's not a generic class change. Housing. New house purchases have been disabled this build. Okay. Combat audio alerts. Yeah, the internet set fire to this for a few days. Add-on security changes, loosening restrictions on add-on access to player spell cast information, loosened restrictions on add-on access to maximum health and power value of players, made improvements to the ability for add-ons to format secret numbers into text, made quality of life improvements to various add-on Aura APIs. This is this is where the great concern is for me. This is where the great concern. This is why I feel there should have been an overlap period. Or, I mean, one entire expansion feels like it should have been an overlap period, right? The problem is now is that they're making permanent changes to the APIs, meaning all of these add-ons are like constantly, each and every single week, needing to like, you know, go back to the drawing board, making it really, really hard for these add-on devs to do anything other than just go, you know what, fuck it, right? And this is clearly what's happening. Some of the add-ons are just like, I'll just wait till the game goes live, and if I can make the add-on compatible, then sure. But like with it changing every single, I mean, the difference is the big add-ons. There's money in the game there, isn't there? So like they have financial incentives to keep on top of it. But for people who create add-ons without any financial goal, they do it for the love of the game. I would not be surprised if half of the add-ons in the game just stop working on Midnight's launch. I've also seen something, and I can't confirm this because I don't know what I'm talking about, but like apparently you are not going to have the option anymore to load out-of-date add-ons. So it's going to mean that any add-on, whether it needs updating or not, any add-on that does not update for 12.0 basically just won't work. So all of those little niche random add-ons that get updated maybe like once an expansion, because they don't really do a huge amount. They don't need permanent patch by patch updates. And often they will say compatible with 10.3 or something like that. Those add-ons will just not work. Boom. No, not allowed. So it's going to require every single add-on dev for every add-on that has ever existed to come along and make sure that they at least make some changes to that add-on for it to be 12.0 compatible. Which means there'll be so many add-ons that will have absolutely nothing to do with like combat, which will just cease to stop working. And if the add-on devs come back and update them, then great. And if they don't, then, well, it's another casualty. I might have to get in contact with some add-on devs. I need the rights to make fan updates or some of the add-ons that I've kept alive over the years. Yeah, it's Blizzard's way to do a good old spring clean on add-ons, isn't it? I wonder just how many of the little niche add-ons I use are just going to just not work anymore for no reason other than because they don't state that they're 12.0 compatible. They just won't be allowed to load. Okay, actually, incredibly small amount of patch notes for the alpha this week. So the reality is who knows what's changed. Might need to poke around a little bit. Oh, there is one thing I did want to double check actually. There is one thing I did want to double check. Because we don't already have anywhere near enough clients open, let me open the alpha real quick. Oh, you've changed the order of these. That's annoying. One thing I did want to check. Apparently, lumber can now be provided by the buyer. Which would change the landscape again. I wanted to double check. Not that the source for that information was not credible, but I want to see it with my own eyes. Oh, disconnect. That's a good start. Fucking hell. Did you see the actual UI changes that were posted in some add-on dev discords on Twitter? If not, I can forward to you. The reality is it would just all be gobbledygook to me. It's all gobbledygook to me. I mean, it'll be, it's probably of value to some people, but I ain't got a clue. You must. Oh, okay. It's gone. It's gone the other way. You must provide this. Now, what I actually want to double check is whether that is true for everything. Ah, okay. It has completely flippity flopped. Completely flippity flopped. Now being that for public orders, lumber must be provided. Okay. Interesting. Sure. Okay. So now I think we can what do I think of this? I am not surprised. There's why I'm just trying to think about what the landscape now looks like if public orders require you to provide the lumber. I can smell you thinking. Well, I mean, it definitely means that there will be substantially less public orders. Because if you have to gather the base materials and you have to gather the lumber yourself, at that point, why would you just not be crafting it yourself? I guess the only reason you might not be crafting it yourself is based on you have not leveled up your old profession and you do not have access to the recipe. But it does also mean the incentive is for 1 gold commissions again, which one gold commissions are going to, or 1 silver commissions are going to be a thing for public orders again. Can you check if the wine barrel still needs an alchemical catalyst? That would mean only an alchemist can actually order it, since the catalyst is soulbound. Ah, okay. Yes. But your alchemical catalysts come from the garrison building, meaning you can have an alchemy hut in your garrison. You don't actually need to be an alchemist to get alchemical catalyst. So it's kind of a weird one. Yes, you are right. You kind of half need to be an alchemist, but you don't actually need the alchemy profession. You just need the alchemy hut. Gorgrond grapes. That's a vendor item. Okay. See, I was kind of half hoping. So there's mixed emotions here on this. Mixed emotions being it arguably makes a lot of sense that for public orders people have to provide all the mats.
Is that your wallet?
It does cause a problem though.
Both, I hope.
It doesn't really once again, it doesn't leave the crafter any ability to like have an edge. Since the crafter always providing the lumber, as weird as it sounds, did feel to me like it would give crafters some ability to stand out from the crowd a bit and to actually make a bit of gold off their efforts. Cheerful with a 15, by the way. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. When crafters always had to provide the lumber, it would mean that they could then choose to set a value for the lumber that they had to go out and farm. Now, obviously, they can choose to not do the order if the commission was too low, and they might lose that order to somebody else. But it gave at least a smidge of control to the crafter to determine that, right, I've gone out and farmed this lumber. I want 100 gold per piece of lumber. So if I've gone and farmed up 30 pieces of Arden lumber, well, in that case, I'm going to charge like, I want at least 3,000 gold to craft this lamppost because of the lumber that I've farmed. If an order comes in for like 2,000 gold, I can consider doing it at a discount to do the order, or I can just not do it at all and let somebody else take that order. Especially on public orders, which you can only fill one per day, it would give crafters more of an ability to farm a little bit of lumber from all the different areas, keep a supply of lumber in their war bank, so that they can then fill the best order they see that day. Having it be public orders where people have to provide the lumber in the first place, I very aggressively think it's now going to take the amount of orders for items and just slash it like less than in half. The amount of public orders you'll see at this point is like next to none, because before getting these materials and before farming the lumber, players are going to have another option, which is just to buy the damn thing off the auction house, which will inevitably then be the route that people go. So you'll now see significantly less orders for decor. It basically pushes 90% of the transactions back to the regular auction house, which I think is good. Public orders should not allow you to set a commission below the average of the last week. Yeah, but Blizzard doesn't track any of that sort of stuff. And when the average is 1 silver, then doesn't matter, does it? Good change for the buyers. They can now buy from the auction house with gold or farm the mats themselves for placing an order. I like it too, since I don't farm. Yeah, I mean, I was sort of concerned. Flip side to this is I was sort of concerned that decor crafting had actually just become farming in disguise. But this change, meaning that people have to provide their own lumber for a public order, one, yes, dramatically reduces the amount of orders that you will see. What you will also maybe find... You will maybe find as well an do we think we'll see huge amounts of spam listings at 1 silver commissions in order for people to place orders? I wonder if they make it so if you order it, it becomes bind on pickup once you order it. Otherwise, you're going to have people putting 1 silver commissions, 1 silver public orders out there. For them to then only go and then list the item on the auction house. We kind of saw this. Kind of saw this a bunch, didn't we, in Dragonflight? Like no commission orders. Worse was we had no commission. You know, no commission and no mats. But at least what you'll find is people provide all of the materials. No commission, somebody crafts it for them, then they just put it on the auction house. put the feedback in that orders should become bind on pickup. Isn't it easy to get the recipes? No need for cheap orders. They can craft it. Arguably, yes, it is very easy to get orders, to get the recipes. You need 80. You need 80. Well, at least on launch, you need 80 skill in the profession. It does just mean though that with people providing all the materials here via an order, and they'll put 1 silver commissions, and you bet your ass that somebody will come along and craft it for them. It's going to make it very difficult for the people that have leveled up all of their professions and spent a bunch of gold doing it to recuperate any of that cost. They're going to have to get the recipes, they're going to have to craft the things, and they're going to have to hope that they can sell them for enough of a profit on the auction house. I mean, it basically just makes this exactly the same system as anything else. And we've seen that there is huge amounts of random stuff that can be work ordered that doesn't really make any sense for it to be work ordered, which results in you basically never seeing work orders for them. Like a Tuskar beanbag, you've been able to put an order in for, but absolutely nobody in their right mind puts orders in for Tuskar beanbags because you just buy the damn things on the auction house. This is kind of the point for me. I've always wanted the auction house to be the #1 place that people go to try and buy something. And if for whatever reason it's not there, sure, put an order in to say, oi, I want one of these. But, you know, if it's available to buy in the auction house, then, and it's not like listed at gold cap or something, then, you know, the auction house should be the place to do business. Okay. Public order minimum commission should be the total of the materials vendor sell price. I've always sort of naturally pushed back on minimum prices over here. And the reason I've always pushed back on it is because it's Blizzard's overarching philosophy on the economy, which is they don't tell people what stuff is worth. That hands-on approach is fundamental to why the economy in WoW works so well, because Blizzard are not telling people what something is worth. It's why I kind of quite liked, to a degree, that crafters always needed to provide the lumber, because it would have forced some market value for the items. It would have forcibly said that, right, well, if you don't provide enough of a commission to cover the cost of the lumber, your order doesn't get filled. It felt to me as if it was a little bit more of a fair trade going on here. Like, you know, I have the ability to do something, you want something, let's do a deal, right? It felt fairer. The public order system to me is basically like, oh, I've provided all of the materials, why should I give you a commission? And so hence why we see 1 silver orders left, right, and center. would say though that the posting fee of 20 gold will put some people off from doing the sort of like scam orders a touch. But I guess you can circumvent that by using 12-hour listings. I don't know. In a scenario where crafters were the ones that would always provide the lumber, you would probably actually find that there would be some outstanding orders. Orders wouldn't instantly get filled. If you basically are too cheap, your order just wouldn't get filled because no crafter would be willing to sell you their lumber at such a low rate. But now that you have to come along and provide all of the lumber anyway, it falls back into the same scenario as all other orders, which is, for me, I tend to believe that housing decor orders basically are dead on arrival now. I don't think there's really going to be any. Maybe later on in the expansion, maybe possibly, but if you play on any reasonable server, all of this shit's going to be on the auction house within minutes. All of this will be on the auction house within minutes. Yeah. There is unlikely to be a scenario where there isn't the thing that you want on the auction house. So that means, why does anybody really need to place the order? Unless they have spent some time farming lumber themselves and, you know, they live by the I farmed it so it's free theory. I don't know. Sure, it's an option. It works. It works. Right, we don't need Alpha up anymore. I just wanted to check that with my own eyes. Oh, there's a new Twitch drop. Starting on the... for beta. Violet sweatsuit. What is it? Is it a watch time thing? Surely. Yeah, watch any stream. Is it a 4-hour jobby? Watch 4 hours of World of Warcraft. Get your violet sweatsuit. Okay. How long's that on for? Up until the launch of housing. Interesting that they're doing a Twitch drop for beta. Oh, there's nothing to say that they won't do another Twitch drop on December the 2nd for the launch of housing. I'm sure they will. Midnight beta release is November the 11th. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Right, any other news that we should catch up on from the last few days? Or I maybe, at nearly the 2-hour mark, actually play the game a bit. I've just suddenly realised all of my accounts are probably logged off now, haven't they? Yeah, of course they have. Oh yeah, of course, BlizzCon tickets are also a thing. BlizzCon tickets are also a thing. I've never really seen much appeal of going to BlizzCon, honestly. I know a lot of people go and a lot of people enjoy it, but I guess for me it's the fact that it becomes 3 times the price. It would probably be 3 times the price of going on holiday for 2 weeks with the wife, which is my biggest concern about BlizzCon for me. It would be cool to go. It'd be cool to go, but very expensive. And, sorry to say it, Team NA, but I have to go to America. and I have no desire to go to America in any way. You'd hardly even pay me to go to America at the moment. Early bird pricing $250. What does it go up to after the early bird? When do these go on sale today as well? Yeah, for the amount it would cost me to fly to America, hotel for 4 days, spending money, and then the ticket price of BlizzCon, I just cannot justify it in any way, shape, or form. That same amount of money could take me and the wife on vacation for a week or two. Oh, it's a $40 discount. Is that it? Early bird rate $250. BlizzCon charity night add-on for an extra €500. What the hell is a BlizzCon charity? What the Christ is this for? Hello? Dark Moon Fair after hours add-on $90. Christ, we got macro transactions built into BlizzCon. The shit. BlizzCon Charity Night add-on includes entry to the BlizzCon Charity Night, reserved seating for the opening ceremony, signed Blizzard artwork, collectible credentials. Oh, fuck. That's everything I would have expected in the flipping pass. Oh, the pass is to get you in the door. You don't even get to see you don't even get reserved seating for the opening ceremony. Fuck that noise. Oh, God. $500 goes to charity, though? I couldn't care less. Dark Moon Fair after hours, 20 Dark Moon Fair tokens, collectible credential, entry to BlizzCon store, after the option to give us more money after the show. You got to pay $90 for the option to give them more money after. As events go, I'm sure it's cool, but maybe if they did one in Berlin or Paris, or if they did a European one, I would probably consider it more so. But I absolutely cannot justify that kind of money, especially with then having to go to America. Not something I really want to do these days anyway. The thing is, it's a 2-day pass to the event, sure, but you're probably looking at least 3 nights in a hotel. And I would also throw it out there that, you know, if you live in Europe and you are paying flights to go to America, it starts to become maybe more sensible for you to actually then like go for a week. Because if you're paying that much money to get there and that much money to get back, then you might as well stay there and, you know, do a couple of days at BlizzCon and then go do other America things for a few days after. You kind of need to turn it, to justify the cost of flying there in the first place, you kind of need to turn it into a holiday. And I do not want a holiday in America. I can think of 20 places I would rather go to than America right now. Sorry, America, you might not want to hear it, but it's true. While supplies last, I wonder if they sell out like this time. Well, yeah, they couldn't even shift the tickets last time, could they? They couldn't even shift the tickets last time they tried. I also saw Mr. GM stating that if you're from the UK, you might not even be able to get a refund on your ticket if it turns out you can't go. Which is also a bummer. Go to Japan, so much better bang for your buck. Really nice to visit. So much to. Yeah, I mean the list of places I'd rather go than America right now is extensive. Charity night benefiting Make-A-Wish. Three-hour event Friday evenings. I would also point out as well that September is my birthday month. And it's a big birthday. It's a big birthday for me next year. It's a milestone birthday. One of which I don't want to spend in America. Do you even think there's anything really big that would be announced at BlizzCon next year either, by the way? Odd to put it on September 11th. Yeah. Last Titan cinematic. Well, I can watch that on YouTube. Ask the wife for a BlizzCon ticket for your birthday. That way you won't feel guilty. A StarCraft announcement. Yeah. Yeah, that'll get people going. This is the thing for me. Like, when we know what the expansions are ahead of time, it's like, what's the big announcement thing that can't just be seen from a live stream? New Diablo expansion. They did kind of almost somewhere accidentally leak that there's clearly like a Classic Plus announcement or something, didn't they? Where was it? I don't know. They definitely said something. There was some phrasing somewhere that was like, made it very much sound like they were doing some classic something. I don't know. If I was Mr. Big time WoW content creator, then, it could be a business-esque event, but I'm not, am I? I stream to 50 to 100 people most days. I'm not a 10k Andy kind of household name. BlizzCon doesn't seem like a good value proposition. I'd be all up for virtual ticket though. Virtual ticket that we can sit down, live stream, live react to. I'd be all down for a virtual ticket. Absolutely. Add-ons in World of Warcraft, add-ons at BlizzCon. It's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true. Funny because it's true. Yeah, and they're hardly add-ons, are they? That's like, oh, would you like to pay triple the price? More than triple the price? Would you like to quadruple your cost? Value proposition, sure. Right. Okay. Well, that was BlizzCon. I think we're both mostly done on the news related stuff, aren't we? Oh, other than flipping GTA 6, motherfuckers delayed that shit again. My flipping PlayStation's going to be out of warranty before the game even launches. I should have never bought that PlayStation, should I? I should have never bought that thing. I thought I was being clever. I thought I was getting ahead of the game. GTA soon on PS6. Yeah, that's going to be the thing. There's going to be a whole new flipping console before it turns up. I bought that PS5 Pro earlier this year, thinking that GTA 6 launches in September. I got it on offer. I got it for a good... To be fair, I could resell it today for more than I paid for it 6 months ago. But, now that we know that GTA 6 has been delayed till November next year, it's still an entire year away. Damn, that flipping PS5 I bought is going to nearly be out of its warranty before I even get to play the game. Yeah, do we have is there a tweet or something for this? Delayed until November 2026 now. Giving the team some additional time to finish the game with the high level of polish that players expect and deserve. Rockstar has our full support, of course, and we are confident they will deliver an unrivaled blockbuster entertainment experience. I have no doubt it will be incredibly good when it comes out, but I mean, at this point, it's now being delayed by like 18 months. Half-Life 3. Yeah, originally announced. I mean, we should have already have played it by now, I should point out, right? I should have already completed GTA 6 by this point. It was annoying that it got delayed till May next year. Because I was concerned that this was going to clash with the Midnight expansion. Well, it's definitely not going to clash with the Midnight expansion launch anymore, is it? Because now it doesn't come out till November next year. And we also have no idea exactly how much it's going to cost. How much would you be willing to pay for GTA 6? Oh, God. Can we just see the results without pressing a number? Damn, that's crazy. How much would you be willing to pay for GTA 6? The highest one was $70. Yet there is significant amounts of people that are willing to pay substantially more than that. Damn. More likely to clash with the Last Titan the way things are going. Well, hopefully November next year will be halfway through 12.1, which means unless we get another Mechanica farm scenario, I will be bored to the back teeth of midnight by November next year. I will be absolutely desperate for something to entertain me. So that in a weird way, delaying GTA 6 till November next year is actually great news. GTA 6 is up for pre-order at $70 in PlayAsia. There's also rumors that they're going to have a subscription attached to GTA 6. You have to buy the game, and then there's already the GTA Plus subscription thing. There's rumors that will become mandatory to play GTA 6. It looks like they're going the Blizzard route. GTA 6 is also rumored to have player housing, where they're going to charge you for virtual currency as well. So they're gonna really stack up the monetization, I've heard. Because no company could possibly get away with that. There's also some weird rumors there's more. There's more going on about this than is led to believe. That Rockstar have recently fired like a whole bunch of their team for reasons unknown. Just last week, Take-Two fired dozens of employees alleging gross misconduct, and later leaking confidential information on a public forum. However, those employees claimed that they were instead fired for participating in online chats about organising a union. The group and supporters protested in front of Rockstar North and Take-Two's UK offices today. Yeah, some sketchy shit going on. You can't start firing dozens of employees for gross misconduct, then to find out that they were attempting to unionize. That's kind of hella sus. Maybe they'll let us farm gold and buy a sub through GTA tokens. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you become a business tycoon in GTA 6, you can take your dirty money, convert it into GTA tokens. Yeah, supposedly it screams union busting, doesn't it? $220 million units of GTA 5 sold. Well, it should do, shouldn't it, really? It's been out for over a decade. When did GTA 5 launch? When did GTA 5 come out? It's like 15 years ago or something now, isn't it? 2013? So it's literally almost 13 years. It's going to be nearly 14 years by the time GTA 6 comes out from one game to another. That's bananas. The first, well, we had GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, all in the space of like 5 years, didn't we? The three legacy titles, I think, came out like 2 years apart. And now we've gone 13 years almost since the launch of GTA 5. Damn. I mean, that's still 20 million units a year, which is kind of wild. How do we think GTA 5 would have lasted that long if it wasn't for RP though? I've never been one for the GTA RP, but I know some people like have lost themselves in it for sure. It was released at different times depending on the platform. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It came out September the 17th, 2013 on a worldwide release. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out November 18th, 2014, and then April the 14th, 2015 on PC. By the way, Arc Raiders beat BF6 in sales on Steam. That's half the price though. Half the price. RP's huge. Here in Spain, they come out with a new server setup and invite all of the big streamers every now and then. Yeah, I mean, in its prime, RP was the biggest thing on Twitch, wasn't it? I mean, it's probably pretty massive to this day. I mean, I bet if I browse the Twitch directory right now, GTA is up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's in the 10th spot right now on Twitch, but during prime hours, it's usually top 5 every day. Which is kind of bonkers, really. Yeah, I've tactically avoided being too distracted by other games recently. I'm not gonna lie, Megabonk does steal. Megabonk is stealing more of my day than it should do. But I've tactically avoided Arc Raiders. I've tactically avoided BF6 simply because I don't need the distraction. Arc Raiders didn't massively appeal to me though. Tarkov never really appealed to me. Now I know people have said Arc Raiders is Tarkov, you know, but people with lives. But even still, I'm a bit sort of it's oh flipping. That's not what I wanted to open. I'm where's Megabonk? What's my hours in Megabonk now? Oh my god, I'm up to 70 hours in Megabonk. Yeah, this game is taking up far more of my life than it should do. But it's hella fun still. 87% of achievements now as well. Not far off completing Megabonk. My top runs on Megabonk are not very high though. I keep doing stupid things and dying earlier than I should do. Arc Raiders kind of really casual. You've sunk more hours into Bonk than me on BF6. Arc Raiders is $40, right? Not that I'm about to pick anything up, and especially with beta next week, it's definitely not happening. But it's another one of the games that I know will come and go. Frustratingly, I know Arc Raiders is another kind of like you know, June. You know, it's one of those games that will turn up, be a big thing for a month or two, and then it will completely, you know, blend off into obscurity. Which means you either play it when it's hype or you get away with saving a bit of money. Ark will die on the 15th when Tarkov releases. Have Tarkov got a big update or something coming? Yeah, $40 for Arc Raiders. 36,000 reviews. $70 for BF6. 91,000 reviews. Both mostly positive, very positive. My Little Puppy. Oh god, I don't need a game about this. What else is going on Steam? Oh, it's $40, but very quickly there's an upgrade to deluxe for another $20 that actually does basically make the game $60. So I see. Then again, you got Battlefield Season Pass at like, yeah, double the money again. Baldur's Gate 3, Subnautica, Warcraft. I guess you mean Warcraft 3. You still owe us these games. I mean, I knew the very second alpha launched, it was going to become remarkably difficult to play anything else but World of Warcraft until probably at the earliest halfway through Season 1 of Midnight. And to be brutally honest, I think most of Season 1 of Midnight is worth playing because that is going to be the season where crafting will actually make money. Much past that, we go into maintenance mode, really, don't we? Oh, Tarkov comes out of early. Oh, they're actually officially releasing it. I see. Oh, Witcher 3, sorry. Yeah. Electronic Store Simulator, go back in time. Is that even a game? Is that even a game? Oh my god, that is actually a game. What's this? You own your own electronics store and grow it from a small shop into a modern technology hub. Manage deliveries, prices, store equipment, take care of customers, expand the product range, and become a master of the world of electronics retail. Nope. Quite simply. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, mate. Nope. Satisfactory 1.2 has been confirmed. Fluid update for both oil extractors and water extractors can now extract oil and water from shallow water areas. Fluid truck station for fluid delivery and pickup with pipeline inputs outputs. Tanker truck for fluids. Game mode, addition of game modes has been hinted, but it will not be a post-game, end-game extension. The best thing they can do with Satisfactory is open it up to modders, like, more so than normal. If they open it up to modders big time, dare I say, if they go the Factorio path of just opening it up to modders so that people can come up with weird and wacky full rebuild versions of the game. I mean, you can't argue that that literally was the lifeblood of Factorio for many years. It's just had console release as well, hasn't it? Satisfactory. Yeah. It makes sense for it to be on console, honestly. It's more of a console kind of thing. I can imagine on a controller it still works very well. Goblin goop maxing. Wow, the flipping recommended games know me well, don't they? What is Goblin goop maxing? Brew potions, create monstrosities, commit atrocities. Fulfill this collector's sick fantasies by experimenting on goblins with wacky potion ingredients that can modify bodies in grotesque ways. The goblin seems sad that you turned him into an abomination. Just drop him into the meat grinder. Fucking hell. Sure. Very positive. Okay. Satisfactory have an option for random or more maps now. No, this is one of the things that will hold Satisfactory back. This is why I think they need to open it up to modders. To be fair, the map that they have created are they using Unreal 5? They're using the Unreal 5 engine, I think, aren't they? Satisfactory. The one map they have made is incredibly good. The problem is though, is it's not, it's not so easy to like procedurally generate like a new random seed. It's just not that kind of landscape, is it? Okay, let's stop looking for distractions. Let's stop looking for distractions. Is there anything I still need to do on Remix other than just get more wham? I'm already above the verse cap. We've got 214 ranks of Limits Unbound now, which puts me over the... There's a hidden verse cap, isn't there, really, of 99%. All we're doing from this point on is just increasing our damage. There's meant to be another world boss. Let's fly over and have a little look. I'm going to be brutally honest, I didn't really plan a huge amount to actually do on today's stream other than just catch up on the news and stuff and just a bit of stress test for the stream. It's been rock solid so far today though, even with having multiple accounts and stuff running, so I think I have fixed my tech related issues. Minus the fact that half my OBS has gone wackadoodle, but...
We have a target for you in this area. Be vigilant.
I love the fact that they've made these auto-accept groups again. Remix assault timers are different from retail. Yeah, I was seeing on, when was it? Maybe Wednesday, when this launched. The assaults didn't seem very frequent. Not as frequent as you would have kind of expected or hoped from Remix. I kind of assumed there'd have just been an assault up all the time, but apparently not. What's this Wowhead post saying? Leadership invasions, blah, 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 blah. Not only are they required for the Broken Shore campaign, another source of infinite knowledge, the cap remains at 36, beyond which you instead get extra bronze. This does give players who skip some activities another avenue to maximize their knowledge. When they happen, each assault lasts 6 hours, with the next one starting 8.5 hours after the previous invasion ends, rather than the original 12 hours. Oh, I mean, so it is slightly faster than it was back in the day. But why? Just make, like... Can't you just make one roll into the other? Is there any reason for them to not just kind of always be an invasion up? With Remix being so much faster paced, there should really just be one up at all times. Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't the original downtime 12.5 hours on retail? Otherwise, you wouldn't have ever... Okay. Yeah, I don't see why they don't just have one up all the time. That would make more sense to me, honestly.
We have a target for you in this
7,500 bronze. Is that how much you get for an infinite knowledge point above the 36 cap?
The land is safer for your
I mean, that's certainly not anything to scream home about.
Danger will surely rise again.
Ooh, the armies of Legion fall. Earn exalted. Oh, haha. I mean, currency-wise, I'm pretty convinced I've got more than enough bronze now to buy everything that's outstanding. I haven't done the maths on it. I'm sure there's add-ons and websites and stuff that can tell me all of that. I'm not convinced I need to even farm up any more bronze. I could, in theory, just turn up when the new phases happen and buy everything outstanding at this point, I think. I wonder if I export my character data. Was it completionism.net or something? Which was the one I was using for this before? Too many that one. That one. How do we update this? Fresh account data. Well, that's a lie, because I've got all of these. How do I then... Oh, last imported 2 days ago. Import again. Okay. So... let's look at bronze. Total spent remaining. Total spent remaining. So there's 375,000 golds worth of stuff it still claims I could get. Where's all this come from then? I've got the bronze to do it. Why don't I just buy everything now? There's mounts? No. This is a lie. Oh, are these the class ones? These might be the class ones. Legion was fun expansion, but reliving it isn't fun. Oh, I mean, I had a blast in Remix at the beginning. It's very much on just collect the remaining things for me kind of mode now. Level some alts in here for sure. Pretty much done with Remix other than buying stuff when it unlocks. That and some leveling some more tunes. Yeah, I'm in the same sort of boat really. Legion Remix doesn't have quite the same vibes for me as Mr. Pandaria did though. It was I'm no denying fun was had. Fun was definitely had, but I mean I was kept busy for a good month, I think. Mop Remix, and that was with everything launching day one. I'm hoarding bronze to buy multiples of the furniture that is to drop later. Yeah, that's going to be a question mark, isn't it, if they add furniture into this. So where's all of this stuff it claims I don't have then? I mean, there's the class mounts that I could just buy. Check for all the tick marks. Oh, maybe we should put it into all mode. Lots of ticks. All the ticks. All the ticks. Okay, this is stuff that doesn't release yet. So now we're in the uncollectible stuff. Okay. So we've bought everything we can from you. Now the class mounts, I could in theory buy the class mounts I'm missing just so I've got them. Whether or not I actually level, I'm going to do exactly that. Sure, I could level these, but the likelihood of me doing that is slim to none. We'll just buy those.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
Green reskins of some cool mounts. The different classes. The hell is that thing? Jesus.
I hope you find these to your liking.
So that should be all of those.
May the red crane live forever.
Anybody else a vendor? You're the mounts. Looks like we've got all of these. Let's put it in all again just to be safe. Yeah, can't buy these ones. How much bronze of outstanding mounts have we got? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 280, 300, 340, 380, 400, 500, 620, 720, 700. Okay, so there's less than 1 million bronze worth of mounts still outstanding. Though I do already have enough bronze to just turn up and buy all of the mounts. I switched to Twitch mobile app. Your screen's just black over here. Yeah, I know. My vertical profile is gone all broken. Even though I had it all set up, for some reason it disappeared. It's all broken. Mobile just doesn't work properly today. Yeah, I'm streaming a black screen to Twitch mobile apparently, but I'll fix that in another day.
See you soon.
It's all of the Mog and stuff then that is probably some of it outstanding.
Speak.
Check for green ticks everywhere. We've got all the dungeon stuff apparently. You're not vendors. Raid apparel.
Answers.
Missing both of these. That's understood. Got all of this. Got everything on page 2. Everything on page 3. Everything that can be bought on page 4. These come out later. Okay, so yeah, I for all intensive purposes, I think I have got everything that's possible so far. Yep. Got all of that.
I supply only the finest goods.
All the cloaks. Okay, still a few things that will come out in a later phase, but we got all of that. Okay. That feels like that's everything then, surely? There's no other bonus vendors that I've missed or forgotten about, have I? Now, so where does it get all of this stuff from that it claims I don't have? Can't believe beta's about to be released and they still haven't unlocked everything in Remix. Housing's going to be out before. Tell me about it. Genuinely. Like, there's no sense of logic in the fact that they're still time gating Remix when everything else is going on. But like vendor behind. Yeah, spotted those. I thought the transmog sets vanished from the vendors when you've got the appearances. I know for a fact I bought some I apparently had the appearances of, but still learnt appearances. Isn't that an add-on that does that for you? I don't think the default UI does that. There's an add-on probably that removes stuff from the vendors. Still claiming there's a lot of stuff I need though. Let me cross-reference some of this stuff that it says, see if I can find it on a vendor.
What is your purpose?
Let me just hover over these, just to double check. Unfortunately, Blizzard systems can sometimes fail to grant every item. Learnt 10 of 10, 9 of 9. At least the tooltips seem to indicate I've got everything from all of these. So I don't know why completionism claims I don't have them. Buy one, can always sell it back. So you think some of these might have appearances that...
Do not share what I have said.
All appearances are already in your collection.
What do you want?
It says 68 of 68. But some are 49 out of 68. Wait, what? What says 68 out of 68?
Guard yourself.
Hover over a set.
Speak.
102 out of 102. 95 out of 95. They all the different appearance. 68 out of 68. It seems to say they're all 100%.
Protect the
I'll assume I've got everything. I'll assume I've got everything now. That means then with 1.2 million bronze outstanding still, I can't imagine I actually even need any more bronze. So once we've leveled a couple more teams of characters, we should have more than enough bronze than we know what to do with, which is kind of cool. Which is handy. Okay. Right, that means I can kind of put Remix on hiatus then, which is nice. Completionism won't pick up changes unless you log out of WoW and back in again. Oh, I've not actually bought anything today, so it would have already had access to all of the info. Going for the 999 verse achievement because I hate myself. Yeah, that would be... There's no other way to do that, really, is there, than to spam an awful lot of Mythic Plus, right? Surely. Just do a plus 49 key, get the same achievement. Is it Centenax farming right now? Okay. Daily mythic raids will get you there in the end too. Maybe. Do we want to do a raid? Do we want to do the new raid? I joined a 740 group the other day, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. I barely tagged a single mythic mob. It was kind of crazy. What's this Centenax farm? Marks of Centenax. Holy baloney. Spawn portals under the ship, basically. Well, we got to give that a go. Got to give that a go. Got me 16 levels in 20 minutes. Starts slow, but once you have the portals up, it goes quickly, especially if nobody quote-unquote steals them. Good luck on Draenor. This is where we will get ported over to not Draenor. I didn't watch that video properly. Somebody give me a quick TLDR. Is there any prerequisites to have done in the Broken Shore? TLDR, do a 49 key, save time from having to grind 999 limits. That's just kind of one of those, like, until you've done it, you might not feel as if you've, like, quote-unquote completed it, you know? Bomb the mobs under the ship until you get the portal tokens, then spawn tokens. Okay. Where's the ship, then? Isn't the ship a big icon on the map? Does this not mean the ship's not here? Yeah, boosted me in a 49 key. We did Arcway in 9 minutes. Lol. Just a few Centinets farm groups. So it's a 2x4 thing, is it? Is that what we're saying? That means any group with at least 4 players in.
Vessel fell. It released what remained
It
of the
is.
souls used in its creation. These souls wailed in agony, lost in ceaseless pain. Please, free them from this torment.
I don't know what the highest key I've actually done yet is. I've really not done that many Mythic Plus keys. So do these things just literally continuously pop out from these portals?
I need a target. I don't have a target. I need to target something first.
I might actually use my key to push, like, solo. Oh, hello. Here. Tell the Centinax to summon a demonic portal in this area. What if there's already lots of portals here? Portal locations are set, so if you use a portal item, it opens up one of the nearest spots or refreshes the duration of one close by. Oh, okay. And in theory, you just tag everything. I see, I see. So this is going to just be like ludicrous power gains, right? Oh, thinking about it, thinking about it. Yeah, 10,000 infinite power, like, in one loop. Okay, that summons a portal. This also is going to be clearly one of the most gross OP ways to boost ults as well, isn't it?
I need to target something first.
The real trick is getting on a dead shard. Well, not that I'm in any way, shape or form defending the choice to phase remix. When stuff like this clearly exists, the you can maybe see why they didn't want everybody to have something like this day one. Someone died. How? I don't know. Somebody was saying to remove him because he was leeching. They then continued to leave themselves. Yeah, because they're like low level. People are going to join these groups as a way. Can you... I guess this is probably not an outrageously good moat farm, is it? But I guess if any of these pop out and are empowered, then I guess it drops moats.
I need to target something first. I don't have a target. I need a target.
Yeah, we're on a shard with a boomkin that's clearly going to, like, yoink all of the tags. So that's the trick, finding a dead shard. And I mean, when I say a trick, I've got multiple accounts with characters on every single flipping server in the world, so it shouldn't be that hard, but... I'm going to be honest, I think I'd probably rather farm Mythic Plus than doing this. This sort of like degenerate killing of mobs. Just spamming a macro to slash target slash kill. Boomkins rule this farm and they know it. Well, yeah, I mean... I guess what you'd probably do is just have... If you were doing this in an organised way, you just stand one person at each portal. And you just spawn 5 portals and just kill everything on site, right? Four paladins, each at a portal, just slow spamming AoE. Yeah, this is that's That feels like what you would probably do.
Tell me your secrets.
I need a target. I don't have a target.
I mean, I'm not really tracking, but I've probably had the best part of 100,000 infinite power from doing this already, and I've only been here 5 minutes. Lags my game out, there's so much stuff to loot. One thing I would say is that in Legion Remix, because they've like gamified like end game gearing per se, like people didn't gamify the threads because they were kind of told that threads were like unlimited. Now that there's a, you know, a number that slowly gets bigger, you know that there are people that are doing this just to get 999 because they can. Whereas threads weren't gamified anywhere near as much. It was more about getting your max gear, and once you had max gear in, you were good. Not premix. They've really done a good job of emphasizing continuous grinding in this one. It probably is going to lag the zone out like crazy though, if you've got something like this going on your server.
I need to target something first.
What I need is to figure out how to find a dead shard and then just bring I need a dead shard and I need to bring 4 alts down here. And I bet you'd level alts down here hella fast. But it falls under the same category for me, that open world leveling of alts in a multi-box scenario is often hella risky. Because, believe it or not, people don't like it and they'll report you, whether they're right or wrong. Alts need to be level 40. Why would they need to be level 40? I hide in a cage with the rare leveling. Oh, in a cave.
Something first. I need a target.
Will they die after 1 second? Well, they're not meant to get in combat. You're not. What you're forgetting. You're not getting in combat with them. They're just in the group, and so they leech the XP. You hide them off in a corner somewhere. They just steady flight above the site. Yeah. They just need to be within range of the mobs to get the XP. You sure as shit don't get them in combat.
I need to target
pinging my ass. Did anybody ever develop or find any like weak auras or add-ons that like track bronze and infinite power? I found one in the early days of Remix which tracked bronze a little bit. Oh my god. There's one for IP. Five boxing ults, 10 to 18 in an hour and a half. 77 of them up until now. Yeah, there's part. I mean, it's history repeating itself for me because I partly regret not using Missa Pandaria to farm up a bunch of ults. I kind of regret not doing much of that in MOP, and I'm going to run the risk of not using Remix to level up a bunch of ults. And arguably now is the time to do it because we've got beta next week, which will obviously keep me very busy. Especially if they give us cheat vendors so we can actually test the professionals properly. Then we have housing. You know, there's not really quote unquote downtime as much. An infinite spawn goat farm from back in the day just by the Nessingwary place in High Mountain. Still not got around to testing it. Used it to farm 101 BOEs. There's a few spots that I certainly hadn't seen go too public. Then again, I've not equally been looking. Like the open world farmy stuff, I wasn't really paying that much attention to in the first week or two of Remix. I kind of stopped playing Remix just as everybody started like aggressively farming IP. I was more concerned about getting my item level to 740 nice and quick. Now obviously getting to 999 is kind of cool and all, but I can do everything in the game already, so I'm kind of chilling. This is just testing today. Yeah, but this is borderline AFK, isn't it? This is just like... It's AFK, but it's not. Like, but you can kind of chill here, and you're just gonna... I mean, you do get moats as well, by the looks of things as well. So even if you're on lower level characters, you haven't hit 740 item level still. You can be out here, and you can be getting some value from this. But it proper gamifies the whole thing. I've had like 5 ranks or something in the last... however long we've been here. So it's one of those, it's just a matter of time until... How deep does your sanity go? I know mine isn't that deep. I'll be bored of this within 20 minutes. There is part of me, though, that thinks getting to 999 would be interesting. It'd be kind of interesting for towards the end of the event when people are like trying to get their achievements and they haven't spent time doing it. You know, all of that crowd of people that will clearly turn up towards the end of this event who will have chosen to ignore it at the beginning because of the phasing, or the people that didn't play it as much as they thought they were going to. There'll be lots of people that will want like their 49 boost, their 30 boost towards the end. Being able to solo all of that shit would be quite funny. Which rares? Yeah, I've seen people use rare. Like, there's a trio of rares, isn't there? I think there's a trio of rares people use, which they just rotate between the rares, and rares end up giving so much flipping experience that you can level alts like dirty fast. It's like a 1 minute cooldown between each rare spawning or something. This is where you stand in a pile of 3 of them. Something along those lines. Like I said, I've not paid a huge amount of interest in this so far. Oh, we're missing portals. Spotting Stormheim with the triple rare, but you need to fly around. Is there not what you need to fly around, but like, is there not a spot where you just dump your leveling characters? I don't know. My concern with any form of open world leveling, and I'll try and be really clear about this, is that I have seen firsthand multiple people who have had their like 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th accounts banned. And it will almost entirely be due to false reports. So I would very heavily suggest people act with caution doing open world farms. Running dungeons as a 5-man team is, yes, slower, but with basically 0 risk. As long as you're doing 5 accounts, that is. Or be very vigilant that you know, try and get on shards where it's empty. I'm pretty sure one of the, I don't know if he's a TSM dev, he's linked to TSM, has just had his multi-box accounts all banned recently. He's trying to get it overturned because it was, and that was for remix boosting. Is it me who's the screen black? On mobile it is. Turn it landscape and it works. My OBS is done goofed. My vertical profile is busted. And I can't really, I mean, I could start fixing it and making it work whilst on stream, but I will fix it for next stream. Moving team over to the Senti farm. It's worth trying. The same rules apply though. Like, this is a very high traffic area right now. Don't put yourself in a position where you hoover up false bans, false reports. Decided cats are not conducive to early mornings. Try having 3 dogs and have one of them be a puppy. Although, Mrs. Manthias is away at the moment. Fun fact, she's actually in London. It's funny how my wife, the non-English half of me, goes to the UK more frequently than I do. But she's in London right now, so I'm here with all the dogs by myself. And she... With her not being... She often gets up very early in the morning and will take Alma out for like a pee, whatever. But there was no fucking way I was doing that this morning. But I was very impressed that she, you know, controlled herself and waited until we all got up today. So she might be a puppy, but she's slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. Excited for beta? It's difficult, right? I've had alpha since day one. A nice position to be in, but I've also had a touch of frustration with alpha from the fact that I don't feel as if I've really been able to test things. We've not had a blog post from Blizzard outlining any sort of like, you know, what their design goals are. We've just kind of had to guess. Beta hopefully will give us cheat vendors and give us the ability to power level up the professions so we can see what they look like from the other end. We can see how things work from a, once they're fully leveled. Are we meant to be able to mass produce everything again? Are we meant to be using concentration to mass produce high quality items? What's the play? So from my perspective, I've got... Alpha gave me a good idea of the general landscape, right? I definitely didn't like play test the zones or the leveling or any of that anywhere near as much as I could or I should, but flipping Remix got in the way, didn't it? Remix had to go do Remix things. It would have been a different story, mind, if Remix hadn't turned up. We'd have spent a lot more time on the alpha. But this means that I don't have the same level of hype for the beta as some people might do, because I've got my first impressions out the way. I've seen beta for me is more about, right, now it's time to start getting serious. Now it's time to start working out what's good, what's bad, how we get there, how quick we get there, what the meta is going to become, that sort of stuff. To more portals. How times do change in comparison to other expansions. Well, yeah, I mean, my theory was the same whenever I didn't get access to the alpha. I would have utilized it in the exact same way. It was just not having direct access to the alpha for the War Within meant that I had to get my first impressions out the way and do all of the beta stuff once the beta launched. My only hope this time is that beta doesn't end up feeling... It's still very end-loaded. So for me, beta is actually more interesting the week or two before the expansion launches. Because of course, we'll still get every week beta builds with things changing. And so the temptation when beta comes out is to rush in and try and test everything and work out, you know, how does prospecting feel? How does this feel? How does that feel? Can we get our ratios for millings and all of this sort of stuff? There's the temptation to go off and do all of that. I've learned from the past that it's completely pointless doing. If you don't want to be doing any actual real number crunching until you are maybe 2 weeks before the launch of the expansion, But that also clashes for me when I want to be doing videos and stuff. So a lot of the early beta stuff is going to be quite sort of like looking at things and figuring out like, okay, this is clearly broken, or this is not broken, or where do we think we're going to be using concentration? Maybe which professions do we think might work well for concentration? Are we going to be mass crafting things? Are we going to be, you know, what sort of approach are we going to take? That's what we'll do early on in the beta. And then towards the end, it's get all the leveling guides done, get all of the get the guide for each of the professions finished. Maybe look at getting some TSM groups put together ahead of time, so it's not such of a clusterfuck of chaos when it launches. This sort of thing, you know.
I don't have a target.
Does this need some sort of prerequisite? By the way, I've killed portal mobs for 30 minutes or so now too, and got 0 drops to summon the portals. I just had to leech from others.
I need a target.
I would guess there probably is then. I've been getting these Centenax beacons of stuff. But I've just do the campaign out here. You want to do it for infinite knowledge anyway. There's probably something you need to do to start getting these drops. I couldn't tell you because I've already done it.
I need to target something first.
222. Yeah, so we've gained about 10 ranks in the amount of time that we've been here so far. So, I mean, if you are kind of willing to just, like, chill, watch a stream, or throw up YouTube or Netflix or something whilst doing this, you can be grinding out 10, 20 ranks an hour, I'd imagine, easily. Still does put it in the category of just mindless grind, but some people love a mindless grind.
I need a target.
Some people are big fans of a mindless grind.
Target something first. I'm out of range. I need a target.
Right, I'm not going to stand here doing this all day though. As good as it is for player power, I think it's a good highlight that it's a possibility for people to grind out their infinite power if they wish. I mean, at least until you get to like rank 200. 200 plus is kind of just like, you know, by that point you're just stacking up more damage. You have maximum defensives by rank 200. Not that anything was really killing you anyway. Or near maximum defensives by rank 200 anyway. How many levels did you get? Well, I don't know exactly how long I've been here. I've not been timing it, but I've had like 10, 11 ranks since being here. Which is 500,000 infinite power, is that, since I've been here? Yeah, I'm on 11.2 million now. Somebody can scrub back in the VOD and see what I was on before we started. And then see how long I've been here. Doesn't feel like long. I don't think the claims of 1 million power an hour are that false here. And I've been able to chill at these 3 portals without any sort of competition. This group here. If, you know, you've got something like this going on the other side, this side is probably better because you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 portals, but I would rather have 3 portals uncontested than 5 portals with half the mobs being grey. Yeah, it kind of feels like day one hyper farm vibes again, that every time you press loot you're getting like 5,000 infinite power. And that's probably more now that it's stacked up to I would also point out that you probably want your infinite knowledge at 36. You still want to focus on getting your infinite knowledge up, but because it gives you 150% more infinite power by the time you've got 36 ranks of that stuff. Which over doubles the effectiveness of the farm. It's Legion's Frog Farm. I mean, there's been a few, hasn't there? There's been a few. There was a little bit of turbulence in the first week or two of Remix, wasn't there, with some of the elite farms. Some people, you know. And we even had a rollback on week 1, didn't we? They rolled people back to 10 million power if people were past that, which I thought was kind of funny. It was another one of those, like, oh, we've done something to show that we've done something, but it really doesn't matter. Sort of situation. It was funny seeing people run around with like 10 million infinite power who were like 630 item level. They clearly hadn't farmed any motes or done any gearing, yet they had like a bajillion infinite power. Now obviously they were going to get to 740 eventually anyway. But it was still quite funny. But there's not been, you know, I still think to this day the whole frog farming thing was blown way out of proportion, entirely because people didn't realise you were meant to be able to get mega OP. It's why this time round a lot of the shenanigans, people are like, yeah, so? Right? Doesn't matter when people realise you're going to get there anyway. Right. I'm done with this shenanigans. I'm done with that shenanigans. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of gross. It's an awful lot of XP very quickly, very easily. I still want these flipping motes to be warbound, by the way. I'll still petition for these motes to be warbound. Genuinely wouldn't mind passing some of those over to an alt to get more than one character fully geared. Now, obviously, infinite power, you're never going to get 999 on 2 characters. Wait, somebody will, challenge accepted, but like, I'm never going to do it. But at least getting 740 gear on a couple of characters would be interesting. Last phase has catch up. We don't know, probably. But every phase that comes out, like, there is passive catch up in terms of the fact that there's just more available for you to do every day. If you just run each of the raids on Mythic every day, you'll get shitloads of gear. You'll be fully geared real quick. You'll get loads of power. The Mythic bosses drop humongous amounts of these fragmented mementos as well, so yeah, probably. Boys and girls, I'm going to leave it there for today. Today, I know it was like first day back feels. Now I've got my computer fixed. I'm quite content that the computer should now be fixed again. I had to replace my power supply for those that don't know or don't care. I was playing with fire with my previous power supply anyway. When I upgraded my graphics card to a 5080, it can suck back 350 watts just by itself. My poor little 750 watt power supply was clearly struggling. Now upgraded it to a nice beefier 1000 watt power supply, and so far everything seems to be smooth. Other than the fact I've ballsed up my OBS profile, but I'll get that fixed for next stream. I'm away for the weekend. I have to help the family close down like the summer place for winter. So that's going to keep me busy over the weekend. We will be back on Monday, where we'll be in beta waiting room, I suppose. And we will we will see what the week brings us. But thank you very much for stopping by this week. Apologies that the content and the streams and everything have been pretty sporadic and broken this week. Unforeseen circumstances. I will try and make sure it doesn't happen again. Thank you for stopping by either way. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you all on Monday. Peace.